Hey you guys, Mariah here. So this is an interesting video that I've been wanting to make for the longest. So I got a comment yesterday, which you should be seeing on the screen now. And this person left a comment saying, me including other tarot readers, we don't resonate for them. You know, things don't happen or come true for them. They will watch these tarot videos and nothing happens for them. And I've always thought about making a video like this because I've watched hundreds of thousands of hours of tarot videos over the years. I'm an avid tarot watcher outside of doing tarot. And there was a point before I learned this hack. There was a point in time where it's like, okay, I'm hearing about love, I'm hearing about finances, I'm hearing about careers and opportunities, but I don't see this happening for me. It's not coming true. They keep saying this is going to come. They keep saying this month you will expect this or this will happen for you, but it doesn't happen. And I always was left with feeling, well, what the heck? What's going on? The things that they're talking about resonates, the way that they're putting their words together and you know, intuitively I feel what they're saying. So it's like, this must be true. This must happen. And it just doesn't. Until in recent months, I found the hack and I understand why it doesn't. So I'm going to share that with you. So I've shared my natal chart with you guys before. I am going to share it again. So you should be seeing it on the screen here now. So as you can see, we're going to focus on, this is going to be applied to any area of your life, but I am going to focus on love because I'm getting ready to have some major transits happen. But as you saw, my 7th house was empty. Look at your 2nd house if you want to know about your finances. Look at your 10th house if you want to know about your work, career, public recognition, public status. Look at your 8th house if you want to know about death, taxes, inheritances, merging of finances with other people. Look at your 5th house if you want to know about your creativity, your children, sex life. Look at your 1st house if you want to know about your identity. The reason why I'm showing you my natal chart and I've shown you this is because this is going to be very important for you to understand why tarot readings do not resonate. You have to understand not only the planets that are transiting your certain houses, but what the houses mean, right? So for you to understand, like say if you want to know about your finances, well, you have to know, you know, where your 2nd house is, what rules your 2nd house, right? And then you have to understand what's getting ready to transit that 2nd house. Because depending on what transits, will be bringing in that energy into that sector of your life. So let's go back into love because again, I'm getting ready to have some major transits, especially Jupiter, that I have not had in 12 years. In regards to my 7th house, our 7th house is our relationships, marriage, contracts, interpersonal relationships, along with so many other things, right? But my 7th house is empty. I don't have any planets in the 7th house. Now, we can get a bit more complex depending on if you have planets in your 7th house or if you don't. But because I want to keep this as simple as possible, as elementary as possible, we're not going to go back and forth between the differences. We're only going to focus on the transits. So you look to your 7th house, and what is your 7th house ruler? As you can see for me, my 7th house ruler, which you should be seeing the screenshot, my 7th house ruler is Aries, which means the planet that rules my 7th house is Mars, right? Because Mars represents Aries. Well, this late May going into early June, I'm getting ready to have Mars transit my 7th house. I'm getting ready to have Jupiter transit my 7th house. And in the month of May, I'm going to have Venus. Because I have no planets in the 7th house, I can watch a tarot reader talk about love, or this person's going to come back, or I'm going to be meeting the one and only for, you know, in my life. But guess what? If I don't have those energies transiting my house, that person's not coming in for me, which means 9 times out of 10 and 10 times out of 9, that reading will not resonate. I will not get the outcomes that they're talking about because I don't have the energies coming into my life to reinforce that or to reinforce the message that they're saying. Because guess what? You need to have those energies being brought into your life, and that's what the transits will do. The transits will bring those energies in regards to, depending on the house of transits. Let's say, for again, it's the 10th house. You want, you know, career achievement or career success, or you want a promotion. What's transiting in the 7th house? Are you having a benefit planet like a Venus or a Jupiter, right? Jupiter brings expansion. It brings benefits to the house. Venus brings a sense of love, a sense of deeper passion, a sense of deeper meaning, and also, again, it brings benefits. You have a Jupiter or Venus transiting your 10th house. If you don't, more than likely that raise, that promotion, or that climb and ladder in your career front may not be happening at all, right? So you have to keep that in mind. Now, if you have planets stationed in one of those houses that you're looking towards, whether it's your second house, your seventh house, or your 10th house, etc., depending on the planets that are stationed there, it can be making other aspects to what's transiting, which can bring in energies of that. But again, that's where we get more complex, and that's why I only want to stay on the transits, because we're not going to make this an astrology video. So back to the 7th house. So again, I'll be having Jupiter, Mars, and Venus transit my 7th house. My love life, right? If my love life has been dead, if I haven't had any options, nothing coming in, or at least if I'm meeting people but nothing is sticking, that's because I don't have anything in my 7th house to reinforce it. So we want to look to Jupiter, because when Jupiter comes into the 7th house, it brings expansion. That means I can either meet somebody that has great potential for a long-term partnership, or if I'm in a partnership, that partnership can go from dating to now being in a committed relationship, or being in a committed relationship to engagement or to marriage, right? If we look to Mars transiting my 7th house can talk about meeting somebody that's where I have an intense or passionate connection with. It's fiery. It makes me feel alive again. You know, Mars can represent so many things. I'm just naming the positive aspects, not the negative ones, because there are negative ones to Mars. Also, too, we want to look at Saturn. Is Saturn transiting the 7th house? Saturn can be a little complex, because Saturn can also bring delays and restrictions to a house that it touches, right? Or it can bring somebody into your life that is mature, somebody that you can have a long-term solidified commitment with, right? So we want to look to these planets and see what's happening. So you need to understand your natal chart, your birth chart, and what's transiting. There's an app that I use called Astro Future, not sponsored, but it is an app that you do have to pay for. I do believe it's 3 days free trial or 7 days free trial. You don't have to, again, you don't have to pay for it. Just use the free trial and just take a quick look after watching this video of what's getting ready to transit your houses. You should be seeing a video here of me using it. Just kind of scrolling through the years, the dates, the months, and scrolling through my transits, and you can see my actual planets transiting each house, and you can actually see what's getting ready to hit each house. So if I go and watch a tarot reading, and I'm going to watch a tarot reading about my finances, right? I want to improve my finances, and my finances have been stuck, and I have nothing transiting my 2nd house. Well, more than likely, my finances may still be stuck. But if I go and look at my transits and I see, oh my goodness, I have Jupiter transiting my 2nd house, or I have Venus transiting my 2nd house, there should be momentum or a progression and change, because guess what? That energy is reinforcing that into your life. So that is why you need to know, if you're going to watch tarot. Now, you don't have to do this, but if you want higher accuracy and a better prediction in actual time frames, because when you can watch the transits, you can know right down to the month, the day, and the year. And I do this for my clients in personal readings. If I have to look at their natal chart or synastry, I can tell them to the day, month, and year when to expect love or finances or an increase in a certain area or a decrease, or, you know, certain changes that may be good or may not be good. Being able to understand what's transiting is very imperative. And a lot of tarot readers won't tell you this. And astrology and tarot goes pretty hand in foot, right? They're pretty parallel, but tarot readers, we tend to stay in our own lane, focus on energy work and, you know, the whole spiritual aspect of it. Astrologers, they focus on, you know, planetary alignments, things like that. So, but you rarely see a tarot reader combine or integrate both. And that's the biggest key that's not being expressed to you guys or told to you guys as watchers, just like I was like you guys for years. This is not being told to you guys, that you need to look at what's transiting to have that reading either resonate and you say, oh my God, they're talking about love, or oh my God, they're talking about career recognition, and I'm getting ready to have Jupiter hit my 10th house. So the time frame they're talking about this is actually going to be happening for me, right? We don't talk about these things. So it's like you watch a tarot reading and you may get disappointed because it's like, well, they're saying all this great stuff, but it's not happening. Learn your transits, know your transits. You don't have to dive deep into astrology and know all of the extra stuff about it. But if you can at least just see and understand what the planets are, what the planets mean, what your houses are, what sign are in the houses, what those houses mean, and what are your house rulers. Those are the elementary basics of what you should know about astrology. then you have a better grasp of actually being able to time predict if a reading is for you or if a reading is not for you, and you have a better understanding to be able to time predict when that love, that career, that finance, things with your children, things with your family, things with your home, things with travel, things with the move, things with your work life, things with your daily routine, things with your spirituality, you can actually predict when it's getting ready to happen, so that way you're not watching tarot videos in vain. Watching tarot videos with knowledge and being able to use your discernment of if this is for me, if this is not for me, will be done by knowing your transits. So I'm going to leave this here. It's been a pleasure. I hope this has helped. If you guys want to talk it out in the comments, go ahead, drop the comments. I'm always here to talk to you guys. So I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.